So if you live in the South states in the US where you have no rust, it's nice. If you live in the Midwest though, what you're about to see right now is, this is a 2007 FJ Cruiser. Nice car, nice model. But for lack of a better word, the fuel tank on this car is literally hanging off the car. Folks, this is becoming a common problem. Fuel tanks falling off cars because folks don't check the fuel tank straps. And it is especially more dangerous on trucks like this with shields. Let's lift this car up. Let's take a look at the fuel tank. We're going to fix the fuel tank straps, show you that process. Hopefully that doesn't give us, we have a few, it's going to be an interesting thing. But we also need to do a radiator on this car. Figured we're working on the car anyways. Why don't you guys join us? And if you own one of these, you'll learn a thing or two about them, DIY maybe, and then we'll talk about it. Let's go look at the Bluetooth fuel tank. So a car never fails to frighten you sometimes. Just before we start filming, we pulled the car in. You know, we've had a few cars. Earlier we've been working all day. This is 8 hours into the day, actually 9, lunch. I remember there was a car here that the AC was dripping, so there's a little bit of water there. I know about that. But I don't know if you see it on camera. There's a very clear fluid over there, right where the fuel tank is. I was freaking out. We pulled the car in, we left it here probably about 10-15 minutes that was set up when we got rolling. Is the fuel tank leaking? I don't smell fuel, but I couldn't wait until we lifted it up. Let's take a look. So the fuel tank is not leaking. It has its own issues, but the muffler is leaking. It's just condensation dripping from the drains. Or that is not a drain. That's just a little rust hole. If you live in the southern states, I would like to introduce you to this. Yes. Now the car is a little bit lighter. Hopefully we get better gas mileage. Let's talk about the problem. This frame is not great, but doesn't have holes yet. Let's talk about the problem. This is a fuel tank with a ratchet strap on it. This is a very, very common scene in the Midwest because, Let's talk about this. Fuel tanks. You got two straps, one here, there's another one here. They attach to the frame on one end, strap around the tank, and then if you look at this one, it's bolted down right here to the frame, and that's what holds the fuel tank. And then you have this cover that covers everything, hopefully. Here's the problem. This strap, look at it from here. It is okay, steep, okay. Now this one, on the other hand, that is not doing anything. Completely broke. Folks, we are seeing so many of these do that. It is alarming. And I see so many folks miss them on annual inspection because they look here, look on this side. Let's look at that one that actually broke. Well, there it is. If you look here, look at that. That's a perfect strap. Look at it. That looks perfect. Except that it's literally not attached to anything. Because if you look on the other side, and this is where they usually rot on trucks, that's not even attached to the truck anymore. That's the problem. Folks, this is becoming a super common problem. Here is the slight interesting proposition we got here. This fuel tank is held by one strap right now. That's why we actually put this is our ratchet strap, because it was basically dangling down, putting extreme strain on this strap, which is already rusty and ready to go. So we're gonna have to figure out how we're gonna remove this shield so we can support the tank, take the ratchet strap, and replace both. They're not difficult to replace, except if the bolts break, then just adds a little bit more complication. But let's hope that's not the case. So let's get to it. Let's replace the straps and wish us luck. This is not dangerous at all. But before we do the fuel tank, so we're gonna do it in a radiator as well. Let's drain it. In case you're wondering, here's that radiator spewing out. It's Oh wow, this thing still has the hooks Usually they rot out and fall off. I have a feeling this has been replaced. It just doesn't match the rest of the car. Looks too nice. Yeah, now you can kind of see the radiator. That's just nothing. If you come around, as they show them this way. Yeah, let's drain it. I don't know how much will actually drain out of it. Oh wow, there we go. We got coolant ish. All right, let's talk about the fuel tank because we got a little situation. I'm going to support it here, and this is just, we're going to support it here, move the tie strap a little bit more this way, take these bolts out, hopefully pry this down, put another jack stand to hold the actual tank, and then take the tie strap, take the rest of it, and we'll hope for the best. It's easier said than done, but let's just do it. This is basically a jack stand for lifts. Okay. Let's all right, let's see where we can hook this without destroying anything. And there's absolutely no place to hook it except here, like that, right there. I think that'll do. You're gonna hear that word a lot today. That'll do. Just, people say do things by the book and this and that. Well, the book doesn't tell you how to deal with this, because the book didn't anticipate, that fuel tank is ready to come down. Not yet, but you gotta remove these, which are, not worried about. See, when you work in the Midwest, sometimes you don't want bolts to break, sometimes you want them to break, not round off. So, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. If I'm not mistaken, that's in case you get one of these stuck, here's what you do to remove them. You either try to tighten them on something and kind of wiggle the socket, or we just do one of these deals. And then they don't want to come out. Let's try it here. There it is. There we go. We're not reusing that. Put new ones. Okay. Where are we at again? This one. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. These two, they're kind of already broken. I don't have to worry about them. We do have this ground strap. It's a very interesting ground strap. Let's see. Okay, that's not bad. Okay, now we have to figure this out. So we're gonna get a turbo socket. You guys seen this? We just moved into this fancy box. And oh, there they are. There we go. These are lifesavers. This is your next tool after a torch. These are, like, they have this teeth. They grab onto rounded off fasteners. Now there's a million companies out there. Every time you're online, their ads will come up and they're the best thing in the planet. 90% of them don't work. This one is a very old school snap-on socket. Works very well. And watch it not work right now that I said that. Of course. I said it works very well. Still a fight. So now we're down to a 10 millimeter. See, when you want a bolt to break, it never does. It gives you a fight. Let's hope that's a good bite. Nope. Let's try this one more time. That's not going to happen. So we're going to have to introduce you guys to our drawer of problems. This is drawer problems number 1, air hammer in the bits. And this is drawer of problems number 2. If you work in the Midwest, you know what that means. So we're gonna refer to the air hammer. It's gonna be extremely unpleasant and very loud, but this is what you have to do when things don't want to come apart. Because I don't care about the thread. If it breaks, doesn't matter. We just want it to come loose. So man, that is on there. Let me just support this little. I don't like how this tank's kind of drooping down. Almost there. Come on. A sharp bit. I think we got it. Now you look at that. It looks like it's a giant mess. How is that gonna work? Well, we just turned. I don't know if you all heard that. A little bit bigger socket. That just turned. Once it turned, now it's either the socket the nut turning, or the whole thing just twisting off, because that's actually bolted onto the. This is not working. Guess we're just gonna have to turn it the rest of the way with the air hammer. See how it's turning? Now, so let's switch directions. You're kind of in my way. Sorry. There we go. Okay, let's try this again. I just want to get a grab on it because it's loose right now. It's not stuck. No. Let's try a bigger socket. If not, we'll just air hammer it the rest of the way. Let's see if this works. Are we gonna have to air hammer it through away? There it is. Yeah, that's not good. We got it though. We got it. Now what do you say, folks? We should reuse this nut? I think it's still good. Yeah. It's still will work. Let's not do that. Okay, now back to our plan of, I don't even know how this is gonna work. Fuel tank is coming down. Jose is not feeling the safety protocol today. Yeah, that fuel tank strap is totally coming down with. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to take these out just to get that cover moving. Okay, Jose, I much feel safer if you stand back. So I got the fuel tanks kind of secured. We have to do this quick. So I'm gonna have another one ready, because that's barely holding on to it. I'm just gonna release my strap, pull the cover, put this underneath it, then we're safe. There goes nothing. Okay. Scared you there, didn't it? Just the cover. I just support it in the middle so I can move my other one here. And use it without this. It's just a support, has rubber feet. I keep forgetting that this has the rubber feet. See how I was holding it here? Right on the edge? Because I had no other choice, but I was using the diff to kind of wedge it so it wouldn't slide. So now, do this, and that's it. You see how much down that tank was? Now we are safe. I'm actually not gonna push my luck because I don't trust that other strap. We're gonna just support it here. I feel like that other strap is gonna break at any moment. Okay, this is our broken strap. Look at that. Completely severed. It just popped. Now, these straps usually are held up by a clip. There's a clip right here and a pin. That pin moves. This particular one is not seized. Let me pull this clip. And then you hold the strap, pull the pin, and here it is. Let's look at it here. Pin goes through the frame, through this, through here, and this little clip just locks it at the end. Every time you do this, replace these. You see how this one is getting rusty? Some of them actually we've seen them break. And this pin, this is like $1 and $2. Don't take a risk. Always put new ones. So here's the first strap, which is completely gone. Now that that cover is gone, look at this strap. Yeah, this is getting pretty rusty. Not as bad, but this is how they start, and if you let them, they're gonna do this to you. Because this one looks great here, not so much here, and that's the problem. Let's go find our new strap, get it on, get our hard. Actually, before we do that, we have to disengage the other side. So we have a 14 mil right here, which is not scary at all. This 14 mil bolt that holds the rest of the strap that is broken. Let me try to get that out. Wish us luck, as if that breaks, we're gonna be here for a while. Usually they don't. This is a pretty strong bolt and a big one, but find out. There goes nothing. Yes, came right out. I would replace this, even though it's okay. I would still replace it because you just really weakened it. Here's the other piece of the strap. Once upon a time, this fuel tank strap, and now it looks like just a pile of scrap. It looked like this. Now my box is stuck. There it is. Once upon a time, that fuel tank looked like this. This is the front one. This is the one that didn't break. This is the one that actually broke. Once upon a time, rear. Once upon a time, it looked like this. Beautiful. If you're from a southern state, yours probably still look like this. So that's why you say fuel tank straps, like, what is that? What do you have to replace that? Well, that's right. Folks, if you own a truck right now, pause this video right now. If you're in the Midwest or a rusty area where salt is used, pause this video right now. Go to your truck. 4Runner, Sequoia, Tundra, any of them. Lean underneath it, find where your fuel tank is. On most of them, except the very newest stuff, which probably is not rusty, it's on the driver's side. Look right next to the wheel. You'll see the strap. And the other one is a little harder to see, but if you lean down more, you can see it. If it looks rusty, let's plan on replacing it, because it's so much easier to replace it when it's not broken. That's what I'm going to tell you. And it is, if you are aware of how this is and how dangerous this can be if you're negligent, can be a DIY job if it's not broken. If it is broken, be very careful, because if that tank falls, it's gonna create a lot of damage and possibly a fire. So be careful. Gonna get new pin, new clip, and new bolts. I know we could use any generic bolt, but these are literally, I think, $1.75 or something like that. It's a nice bolt, and you saw how strong it is. So we're gonna not put a generic cheapo bolt that next time you take this off, it's just gonna break. Now, I don't know about next time for this truck, looking at the rest of the frame, but hey, you never know. This is very simple. Gonna put this up, put the pin through, like that. So always start on this side. I'm gonna put the lock pin. That's it. This one's good. Shoot your tanks all the way up. And we're gonna get our bolt. Never start this bolt with an impact. As soon as I said that, only mechanics do that, it seems like. So maybe advice to self. Always start this bolt by hand. Some models will be tougher than others because it won't reach and won't want to start. But this one is not bad because I have the tank pushed all the way up. So we're good. Make sure it goes all the way straight. You see how the end was pretty tight? You want to make sure this goes straight, not halfway, because it'll back out and the tank will fall. Well, let's do the other side. Other side is not broken, but it is pretty ugly here. Let's see if we strike twice. The reason I'm going back and forth, if you're working with a rusty bolt, you want to clean the thread by going back in and out, back out, back out. It actually helps it not break and come out. So. And my gun is jammed. This gun has been giving me trouble lately. There it is. There it is. Now let's take our tie strap completely. Same thing on this side. Got the pin, the clip. Take this clip. Okay. Hold the pin. Such. Ammo. Can't see anything. There we go. Now I can see stuff. There it is. There's that clip. Now you have extra clips for your front calipers. Okay, this one. You see that? That's well, on the crunchy side. Because the back side actually looks like this. So that's not good. Folks, we see a lot of these cars and it's alarming. And it's not just the trucks, by the way. It's sedans, minivans, everything else. I always check them. It's a little bit less clear on regular cars, some of them at least, but still, next time you have your car in for service, you got it jacked up on jack stand, crawl underneath it, look at the fuel tank straps. They look rusty, replace them. DIY, not difficult to do. You could save some money doing them yourself, but just get them checked. If you live in Florida, you're probably laughing at what we do to our cars up here, but that's unfortunately It's either that or we're ice skating with our cars. So fortunately, there's no other solution. It's the region we live in. That's in, just like that. New pin, just get the new bolts, get it bolted, move on to the radiator. There we go. Now it's safe. Not too bad, not too bad. Except, folks, what this car had was extremely dangerous, because the way we found this fuel tank strap on this car, it actually came in for an oil change. Very nice gentleman with little kids. Comes in for an oil change. You know, hey, while you have it up, we usually take a look around, make sure the car is safe. We don't see anything obvious. We're not going to go in depth, but we look back, fuel tank's hanging right here. And then the radiator is just, there's no coolant in the reservoir. Coolant everywhere. Okay, we need to get this done. Unfortunately, the week that we were doing this, we were so busy. We couldn't even get barely the cars that are scheduled done. So we put the fuel tank, we put the strap. I told him, you need to go straight home, no highway, no nothing. Do not fill the car with gas. Go straight home, park the car until we're able to get you in. Here we are, finally got him in, because this is dangerous, folks. If you're driving on a highway, you fill this tank up, full tank, driving on the highway on that one barely holding on strap, and this comes off the car, it could do horrible things. First, it could catch on fire, hit the person behind you, or this fuel tank will come down, it'll get jammed here. If you're going fast enough, it could go flip the car. That's not good. We don't want that. And in the best case scenario, it falls off in your driveway. It's going to rip every single fuel line, evap line, canister. It's going to rip the wiring for the fuel pump. It's going to cause a lot of damage. And if it breaks, again, fire hazard. So it takes you 5 minutes to prevent a disaster, and they're not even expensive. Never buy them aftermarket. That's another mistake. They're not even expensive original. You may have to replace them once every 10, 15 years if you live in our area, and that's it. Now we get to the fun part. So I'm not looking forward to, because our shield is broken. We're going to try to do something to secure it, because now we have new places to hang it to. We're going to put some new nuts, and then we'll figure out the front one that's broken. How can we secure it? Okay, let's do this. We're not going to forget our ground strap. And then, yeah, we're good. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to stay. I can just put a nut here just to hold it placed temporarily. Yep, there it goes. You know, the last video, let's tell them about this, Jose. This is, the last video was, I told Jose, this is a record of how many times I hit the camera. This video, because we're filming it a little low, because I don't want to lift it so high. Jose is a little bit taller than me, so he always hits his head on the lift. This is a record. He hits every 2 seconds. We're filming. I'm barely holding myself from jumping. He just keeps hitting his head. Jose, be careful, please. What are we doing again? We're tightening this. Just as soon as I rescue my socket. Here it is. I'm going to tighten the rear ones. I noticed something. There's this big washer. I hopefully will be able to make work. That's better. I think I'll find one for here, like a big fender washer. Because we're going to recommend to the customer that maybe we consider a new cover there. What are we going to use for this? I think I'm out of fender washers. because we just ordered them yesterday. We use them so much on heat shields and whatnot. This is my new junk drawer. Notice I don't like to keep junk, so I don't have a lot. Let's look here for a moment. I think I may have something here. Ah, here we go. There we go. Well, it's not a pretty washer. It's not a pretty washer, but it sure matches the patina of the car, doesn't it? Let's see if this is gonna work. I think that's not going anywhere. Well, all we got is the ground strap, which since the nuts played nice, put them back in service. This doesn't do anything. It's not even a ground like for electrical. This is just for, like, what do you call it? Static. Well, this is plastic, so I don't know how that works, but okay. They made it, put it there for a reason. There we go. Well, that's one job done. Now we move on to the next experiment. We've been busy with that. I just had to say something. The coolant stopped draining at a very alarming speed. There isn't a lot of coolant in this car. Well, I'll get that radiator replaced because that's the last thing. I mean, this car otherwise very rusty. It's an 07. It's got miles, but it's not bad. It's, as I said, that this is new. The caliper is locking up. And I got like 5 millimeters on the inside one. No, it's even where it's starting to stick. Like this side, like if I turn it, it stops. How about this side? Yeah, see, this one is fine. You can turn it and it keeps rolling for a little bit. This one, yeah, it's not terrible. We'll let them know about it. We may, I mean, I've seen like a million cars between this and the last time, but we may have told them about this, but we'll see. I'll check the report. Let's get it down. Let's get that radiator replaced. We'll wrap up this video. All right, let's see what's up with this radiator. I'm not gonna trust these hood shocks too much. They work, but not maybe quick to check your oil level or something. Not too. If you have a weak hood struts, ideally you replace them. But if you just want something to service or it's not in the budget or whatnot, just use one of these clamps. Cheapest one you can find on Amazon or eBay or whatever. They're all the same. The best part is I have this clip broke. I'll replace that. Actually, half of them are missing. I bought a Matco one long time ago. I mean, it's probably one of these with the Matco name on it. That one actually doesn't work for any car. It's too small. Go figure. Cover this up, dive in. Plan is pull the shroud, which means we have to pull the fan, because this is the when Toyota decided not to be nice to us anymore. And you don't have that little door at the bottom of the shroud where you can pull the shroud and leave the fan in there. And do that part on, that would be too nice. So, yeah, put the fan. That's okay. So, fans are always at 12. Okay. Let's see. Is this going to give us a fight or is it going to behave? Okay. That's good. Maybe just turn it this way. Yeah, that's better. It's turning the whole engine and I want to turn it. It's turning it backwards. You know what I'm going to do to make my life easier? I'm going to pull this hose. We are replacing the radiator hoses as well and the thermostat. While we are here, pull this radiator hose. This is the old school 1GR. Old school 1GR is a very good motor, except lately it's having a lot of head gasket problems. Either external or internal. It's always number 5. Never fails. Now, should have better access from here. Yes, it's much better. Don't want to turn it this way. Yes, this way. Oh, that's turning the engine backwards. It's not what we want. On this side. The fan's out of the way. Let's get the shroud out. This one does have the you see it right here if you're ever doing one of these. See the transmission cooler hoses? They're clamped onto the shroud right there, down there. I'm gonna just unclip it. Hopefully it cooperates. Yes. You don't have to remove it completely, just unclip it just like that. And I don't have anything else. I don't think we're going to be reusing these bolts. They look horrible. Now, pull the fan and the shroud. There we go. This is the point where we want to get the drain out. That is part of the strap on the ground. You can step on it, Jose. Look, that looks sharp. Maybe we gotta get rid of that. Okay, let's take our transmission cooler lines. Usually I get a bolt, just put it here, put the clamp on it, it won't leak as much. And then the other side, so we're gonna make a mess. Put these caps. These caps, you actually get them when you do radiators. They come with it. This. And here's this one. So you want this one behind the hose. So I'm going to pull this hose with the radiator. Then, last but not least, the cap. There it is. Let's take this radiator hose out. Pop, that's gonna keep doing that. It's gotta fight us. Can't be that easy. Okay. This radiator is ready to come out except the bolts. Which, yeah, this is not gonna be fun. So, there are 4 bolts. See, one of them is right behind the headlight. So that means we have to remove the entire fascia, which is this. Let's just do it. It's always very scary when you start yanking at an old car like kind of exterior parts. Because we don't do this stuff a lot. It's always nerve-wracking. Body shops probably do this every single day on every single car they work on. So this is gonna have to lose its eye to do this radiator. think so. Oh, it has one of those style clips. If I'm not mistaken, this is a style of clip. No, it's not. Is it different? Is it? There we go. It is. And then this side. Nothing scary here. Okay. The bottom, it looks like we got a regular pop push clip. Okay. And this one. The last one. Okay. Yeah, look at that. There's something about cars when they have a round headlight. It just looks beautiful. Except the part where we're gonna have to remove this headlight. And that is not pleasant. Let's put it this way. I don't recall ever removing one of these headlights. So let's figure this out together. This has a clip, a grommet. Let me get a plastic tool. Let's see. Okay, that was not bad. So we have 10 here, 10 here. Is there another one here? Yes, there is. Oh, that's a problem. I'm gonna have to remove this bumper. Nah, we can get that. First things first. Let's get the easy ones out of the way. For the last one, I'm thinking we use a power screwdriver. Use the screwdriver part, like this. There we go. Good thing is it's a screw, not a bolt. Oh. Okay, technically. Oh, okay, that was not painful at all. I feel like it's not going. I feel like we're missing something. Oh, I see it. This is like a clipped type screw. There it is. There we go. FJ Cruiser. Gotta pull its eye to do a radiator. Both of them. So, there's our bolt. Beautiful. How about the bottom one? Bottom one is, yeah. Oh, I can get it from here. Yes, we're good. Let's pull the other headlight. Gotta say, this is not nerve-wracking at all, pulling an old brittle plastic. Probably this is the part that is worse if you live in hot climate, because everything will be a lot more brittle than this. Let's see. There's a little bolt here. Okay. Nothing major here. That's the same. Well, let's take our 4 bolts, which something you should know about these. This is not just the FJ. Now, on other cars, you don't have to remove the grille and all that. Technically, you can do this without removing the headlights, which just makes it so much easier. if you look on this side, so this is the bolt, and the bolt's right here. There's another one at the bottom, but the nut on this side has a bushing. This nut is this whole washer is gonna start turning because this nut's welded to it. This is for some reason a 13 millimeter. We don't have any 13 millimeter on Toyotas, but this one is. So you sometimes have to hold it as you take the bolt out. Let's do this, starting with okay, this is gonna be in our way. That's okay. Starting with the hard bolts, the bottom ones. I'm gonna go through the grill. This is a 12 with a long 1/4 inch extension. It's gonna be very hard for you guys to see it. I think we're almost on it, but I can't get it to fully engage. Let's see. Nope, that's not engaged. It's a little bit too extreme of an angle. Oh, there it goes. We're in. So I'm gonna loosen it and we'll see. Yep, do you see that bushing? It's turning. So I'm gonna hold it. See that bushing right there? See when I loosen it? Nope, actually. Yeah, there we go, it's turning. Don't let it turn too much. I'm gonna put our 13 on it. There we go. You don't want to turn that bushing too much because you're going to tear it up. That bolt will likely not come out. Oh, actually it came out. Cool. Don't drop, don't drop. There it is. It's one bolt. See how the end of it is super rusty? Let's do this one. Not the most brilliant design in the world. So the old Land Cruisers used to have these two top bolts, so they're very accessible, and they have a bracket and a bolt that go this way. That's what's so well engineered. This is not so much. There's the other bolt. Now the top ones are very simple. They're very accessible. Goes. This I think only has one hook. That's why it fell. That's why you have to hold the nuts, because if you tear down that hook, it's going to be very difficult to install. Show you what I mean in a second. Let's pull the radiator out. So do you see how the radiator is actually not going down, not just falling down? Because you have this hook right here. Where is it? Right here. See this hook? This holds it on the car, but in some models they put two hooks. This one only has one. Go figure. And then we are pretty much good with this. Let's do something before we continue. I'm going to take this thermostat out, place it. In this particular car, this whole housing is a thermostat, not like an actual thermostat. Yep. See, thermostat is kind of part of it. Here's a new thermostat, and the cool thing is with these style thermostats, where it's the whole elbow and the thermostat, comes with a gasket already. Plastic, very high quality plastic. I wouldn't worry about it. Because we feel like lately we are having a wave of, oh, get this aluminum upgraded, this and that. I'm just gonna share one thing. I have never seen one of these plastic ones go out. This is not a BMW. So I wouldn't be upgrading what doesn't need to be upgraded. Install it. that part is done. Let's go take a look at a newer radiator, because we love you, Toyota, but we don't love you at the current moment when you see this. Because this is a brand new radiator. Where's the part number? This is a brand new radiator, not an AZ radiator. And you pay a small fortune for this thing. Literally, they're very expensive for just the radiator. Look, even comes with the radiator cap. What a beautiful thing. Where are my bushings, Toyota? You have to swap the old ones. I don't get it. We just have a GX that came in the shop. Someone put a radiator in it, didn't swap the bushings. The radiator was just flopping around in there. That's not good. So here's what we're gonna do to swap these. We want to keep the orientation. We are already wrong on the orientation. Swap this side. There it is. This is basically how this bushing goes. Like this and this. And this part kind of sits here. I'm not gonna put this because it's gonna fall. It just goes on the inside. Same thing with the bottom one. Okay, this one. Particular one has the hook, so I'm gonna make sure that hook faces up, so you can hook it back in the car. It's like that. And we got this nut. Keep. Here we go. Now the only thing we are gonna do is put the, probably move this out of the way. Actually, I'm gonna drop it. We're gonna put the lower hose upper hose and lower hose. This is the lower hose. Let's go look at the old radiator. It looks like it goes like that. So green mark. Yes. Green mark is the one. That's the lower hose. The green mark. This is something if you don't know about Toyota radiators, if you want to line them up perfect, if you come around Jose will show them this. Green mark goes with this line. They always leave a line where the marking is. That's how they assemble them in the factory. For example, this one also has a line. So if you put the mark on that, it'll be perfect. Exactly where it needs to go. So you don't have to be figuring it out in the car. Not gonna put the upper one, but the lower one. This particular one has 4 similar clamps. Whenever you do radiator on a Toyota, preferably replace the hoses. It's not a must unless it's like a newer car and you know a rock hit it or something. But if it's an older car, not a terrible idea to replace the clamps, the hoses. That's optional. These hoses last a very long time. I honestly have not seen a hose leak unless someone damaged it or put the wrong clamp on it. The clamp is the next problem. Don't put a worm clamp. Bad idea. If you're gonna do hoses, do new clamps. You know, the clamps can get a little expensive, but don't cheap out. Do the job right. So I'm gonna install this. There's I have a hook. Just gonna go here. Okay, now we get the bottom hoses, which are bottom bolts, sorry, which are a little bit interesting. Stay. Be nice. Is in. That's it. This radiator is on. Our hose is good. Yep. Do you see that? Even the thermostat has a marker. We install that hose. Actually, I'm going to leave it because it'll help me with the fan. But you see it when I line it up here. This line will perfectly line up with this, and that's how they designed this. I think let's give the FJ back its face before we proceed. So. Yep. Okay, well that part is done. See, here's what I was telling you about. I got 2 new caps. That's how you collect these. So we're gonna do our transmission lines. Then fan and shroud goes back. Shroud on these at the bottom, it just hooks on, doesn't have bolts. It has a hook. And it's hard to see it here, but I'll show you on the old one. To know if they're hooked on, push on it here and kind of try to pull it at the bottom. If one of the hooks is not connected, it's just going to want to pop out. I'm going to replace these bolts because these bolts are very dangerous. The way these bolts hook onto the radiator, if you look here, check this out. So you have this little plastic piece. It has a little metal nut inside. You see it right there? There's the metal nut. If you put a bolt that is all rusty, and this is a new nut that comes with the radiator, if it gets resistance, that nut will turn metal over plastic. It'll crack the radiator right here. Gotta be careful. I would always put new bolts here. Or unless your bolts are very clean, make sure you clean them up and put them on. And there is nothing we dislike more than doing all this. And then the last few bolts you put on cracks your brand new radiator. Start all over again. We're going to do our transmission lines, reattach them here. Okay. Now, last but not least, almost, is our fan. And this is not an extra bolt. This is the one that I replaced for the shroud. Folks, another thing I want to tell you about these nuts, because we've had a case that if you lose one of these nuts, you round them off or do something with them, You might want to get the same nut, all 4 nuts the same if you're going to go with like some generic nuts or something that fits, which is perfectly fine. There's nothing special about them. But you don't want to put one giant nut or nut and washers and whatever, and then the rest are the same. Because remember, this is technically a balanced part. And it causes a vibration, very strange vibration. The fan will start making a very strange noise. It's wobbling around basically because it's not weighted. It's not balanced. That's why I didn't put this hose. Get out of the way. Okay, this part is done. Now we can put the last 2 radiator hose clamp. We're good. And I put the clamp on this hose. Before we do, always use only silicone spray to install hoses. It'll make them easier. Don't use anything else because they will slide off. See how that mark perfectly lines up with the middle right here. Put our clamp. There we go. And then the next hose. This also has the marks. So our mark on this radiator will be on this side. See it right here? Right here, by that little line. So what we're going to do here is we're going to line it up with that mark. There we go. Put a clamp. Then same thing on this side. See the indent in the aluminum right here? See it right there. Right there. That's the indent. That's where the line will line up. And last but not least, clamp. I'm gonna replace all these clips. And that is a wrap. That was not too bad. The only thing we got left is final cleaning and we'll bleed it. Folks, watch out for these fuel tank straps. I see a lot of them. And in this radiator that nobody noticed, because the first question that the owner of this car asked me is, but I didn't see drips in the ground. Yes, because they're leaking onto that cover. And if you drive, it all gets blown away and you won't see it. Be careful. Gotta watch your fluids. Check when the cars get a little older. You want to watch things. Doesn't mean you're going to fix them yourself. Doesn't mean you're going to get involved in figuring out what's going on. Check your fluid levels, because if they would have checked the fluid level, they would have seen that it's low and would have caught it. Something's going on, let's go get it checked out. Or let's at least top it off and then go get it checked out. That's important. Folks, I hope this video was helpful and informative. I hope you learned something new. If you like it, consider giving it a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, consider subscribing to the channel. Check out some of my other videos. Until the next video, folks. May the Lord bless you and keep you, and you have yourself a wonderful day.